Welcome to a Field Trip Friday. Although it's technically not Friday, we are in a field, so let's not split hairs. Today I am with somebody who you might recognize, who is from the Ruth Stout gardening video, and if you haven't seen that, definitely go check that out. She's got a lot of great advice. But today, introduce yourself and tell us what we're talking about.
I am Mel, and we're here on my little homestead to talk about cows, which is a topic very near and dear to me because I kind of really like cows a lot. Maybe an obsession. And so I have Dexter cows, which I believe for people with small homesteads are the perfect homestead cow.
Mm-hmm. I heard you have a dream milk cow. Tell me about that.
So my dream milk cow that I have wanted for about 2 years, I guess I'll rewind for a second. 4 years ago, we started with Dexter cows. And prior to that, all we had ever had were Jersey cows, and we had one milking shorthorn bull. And we liked the milking shorthorn bull. He was fine. But the Jersey cows tended to be just not easy keepers. They needed a lot of grain to maintain weight and milk production. They tended to be more prone to milk fever, which is a drop in calcium in their blood, and they can go down hard and fast with that. And so they just weren't super hardy. I love Jerseys. I love the look of Jerseys. I love the dream of Jerseys, right? There's just a lot more maintenance and work required when you have a Jersey. And 4 years ago, we decided, well, we'll get some Dexter cows to raise for meat. They're actually tri-purpose, so they're good for meat, milk, and they can be used as oxen.
Oh.
And they're smaller in stature, and we only have 20 acres. So I can have more heads per acre, and cows are kind of like potato chips. You can't just have one. You want them all. Very much so. Goats are the same way, and same thing with chickens. Yeah. I feel like homesteading in general, like
bunnies
fruit trees.
too.
Oh, yeah. Bunnies, yeah.
Fruit trees, a blueberry bush. You can't have just one. Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, and so I was like, well, we'll look into this miniature cow. We had a friend who had them, and he kind of was like, oh, you should look into this. So we got the Dexter cows, fell in love with them, and then our Jersey calved. And she went down and had a uterine infection.
Wow. So
we had to do antibiotics. And I'm like, I don't know how that happened because she didn't. Anyway, it just was a thing. Yeah. And so we decided we're going to go ahead and sell her. And we're going to kind of pivot and do something else. Our goal is to be self-sufficient. And so to have animals that require extra care means less time to do other things. So as I was falling in love with Dexters 4 years ago, and we're getting Dexters, and I'm seeing how hardy these things are. Like they legit, I mean, they can survive on crap hay. They eat, and not that I purposely get them crap hay, but we had one year where we did not get as good quality of hay just because it was a drought and stuff, and hay was slim picking. And they thrived on it. I don't feed them any grain or anything at all. They're completely 100% grass fed. They maintain their condition on that. So
what would be your reason for not doing grain?
Oh, is that a
rabbit hole?
That is a rabbit hole. Oh. Cliff notes would be that, okay, you are what you eat, right?
Yeah.
So if you ate nothing but corn and wheat, what would you do?
Not poop a lot.
Well,
I feel like that's constipating.
You would get really heavy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you ate a bunch of salads,
okay,
you would have good, lean meat.
Okay.
Right? And so when they're fed grain, it actually changes the omega structure. And so it makes them higher in inflammatory omegas.
Oh.
And
which would be omega 6s?
I can't remember. There's 3, 6, 9, and I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
Anyway,
grain free.
So,
ooh, they're gone.
Yeah, they're moving.
That's
the
right.
babies are over here though.
Are they moving?
They're moving. So anyway, so the Belfair cow.
Right.
So as I was looking online, and we decided to sell that Jersey after that uterine infection situation, we brought her back to health and stuff. She had to, like, when she's not in lactation, we still had to bring her in and feed her grain. Otherwise, she wouldn't maintain condition. And so extra work, right? Because we're not feeding these guys grain. Extra money. And so anyway, so we sold her, and I started realizing that there is a cow breed, which they're called Belfairs, and it's a Jersey Dexter cross. And so I started researching, and I coveted one of those pretty bad. Last December, basically a Belfair fell into our laps. The Belfair that I had been wanting for a couple years. Look at these guys. Hi guys. Hello. That's Chuck. That's probably Eleanor. So we got the cow. She had just had her first, calved a few days prior, first
Okay.
lactation. She'd been handled a little bit earlier on in her pregnancy, but hadn't been handled recently. And so we went and picked her up. She was quite cantankerous at the time. We got her and her calf, brought them back here. We got her stanchion trained, and I couldn't be happier because she stays fat and sassy on the just a little bit of alfalfa we give her when we milk her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a wonderful demeanor about her. Again, she was cantankerous at first. She wasn't used to stuff.
Yeah.
And she just had a baby, and then we moved her.
Yeah.
And we went through a lot. We had bruises, and we had, I'm pretty sure that she might have broken a couple of bones on the top of my foot.
Oh.
She has a really good cream line like the Jerseys have.
Now, what does cream line mean?
So so it's your cream. It's when your cream separates, it kind of.
So is it the amount or is
yeah,
it
it's
the
amount.
quality?
It's the amount. The
Amount,
cream
okay.
Cream line is like the line
Mhm.
where your cream is. So we had some Jerseys that would give us like 35% cream line. Like it
wow.
would be like, but she gives us a really good, probably a 25% cream line maybe.
I want my milk fatty. I want my milk creamy.
Yes, and I want butter.
Oh.
Yes. So
Ugh.
we've been very, very pleased with the quality of her milk, with her health, with her easy keeping ability.
And so she is the mix between Jersey, which I think a lot of people have heard. Usually in the homesteading communities, that's the one that I heard about the most.
Yes.
Is Jerseys are the most
And I
popular.
love Jerseys.
Yeah.
Jerseys are wonderful.
Because they're
not
very big milk producers, right?
Right, but
Yeah.
they're not a beginner cow.
Okay.
They're not a beginner cow. And
But Dexter's, on the other hand, and then you said Belfairs
Belfair
are the best of both worlds.
So if you're looking for a homestead cow, you know, you probably wouldn't have extra milk to sell if you had a Belfair, unless your family doesn't drink a lot of milk. You can milk twice a day or once a day. When we were milking her twice a day, we were getting 2.5 gallons a day.
So, but once a day would be...
But once a day, we're doing just over a gallon and a half. And so that's perfect for our family. Well, we could always use more milk. But that's for our drinking milk. We have goats for cheese and stuff. And then we make butter out of the milk too. If someone's looking for a good family milk cow, especially for a small homestead, you could easily have a Belfair on like a 2-acre homestead.
Okay, which one would you recommend to newbies like me? I've never had a cow. What would you recommend, Dexter or Belfair, in terms of ease of learning curve?
So it depends on if you want milk.
Okay.
So if you want
we
milk,
would want milk. Like I said, we want a meat cow and a milk cow.
Right. So I would get one Dexter.
The same breed?
So they could be, yeah. But what I would do, if you're like, I want 2 cows and then I'll just take them out to be bred.
Cows, right.
Easy cows. I want to milk. You can milk the Dexters. They just don't produce as much.
Okay.
You know, you can get them more from milk lines, but go ahead.
Well, if the Belfair you said was twice a day, 2.5 gallons, what would twice a day for a Dexter cow be?
That's a good question because I don't generally separate. I just pull them out.
Yeah. And by separate, you mean separate the calf.
So pull the calf out. Right. So we sold her calf.
Right.
Just to make it easier. But generally with the Dexters, what I would do, I'd be like, hey, we need some milk. And so the kids would just come out and we milk our cow. Her name's Gertrude. We call her Trudy. And they would just come and grab her up, bring her in, and milk some out of her.
On demand.
On demand.
All right.
And so for a while, we were milking her regularly, but she still had her calf on her.
So would you say that, just based off of your experience, that they might produce basically the same amount? Because although maybe the Jersey mix would do a little more. Because I assume you do a Jersey mix in order to get more milk production and better cream line.
Right. And if you decide to feed grain, if you fed grain, I would presume that it would just be like the Jersey as far as you'd get more milk.
Okay. But maybe something's kind of similar. Like you're not overwhelmed with milk with one or the other. Okay. So then in that regard, Dexter would be better for meat. And then the Belfair, which again is Dexter Jersey cross, would be better for milk, but it doesn't really matter. If you're new to doing it, you don't have a huge milk demand.
I would either get, if you've never done this before, you would want to get a calf, a little bitty calf. Don't bottle raise a calf for your first time, but get it from somebody that's, I don't know, nice to their cows, you know.
Socializes them
maybe. Where they're not like totally afraid. I mean, you saw the calves. The calves aren't like, oh, we can't go pet them right now, but they're not afraid of us. They're curious about us.
But you were just telling me, don't pet your
bulls.
Okay.
Never pet a bull.
Why?
because as they get older, they're going to be too comfortable around you. And so when you play with them, like if you're petting them, he may be like, oh, I'm going to headbutt you, and he can easily knock you down. You want him to be docile and friendly, like, but you don't want to love on him because you don't want him to come and rub up against you and knock you over.
Right.
Because he's big.
And death by cow is a little embarrassing.
Right. So what my husband does is we want him to know, hey, we're the boss, we're friends, but we're not homies, you know? And so he goes and he says, pound it. And he sticks his fist out, and Edward and him, he pounds his nose on his fist, and he's like, pound it. Like, it's just his way of being like, we're friends from a distance. The cows have now meandered this way. And so I was thinking we could walk and try to get them more in the background of the shot. And hopefully we don't trip on the way. But
it is a trippy thing.
If we do trip, we'll see you next fall.
Oh, yeah. My next question is, why did you choose Dexter's? But I think that kind of was answered in the first one, would you say?
Yeah, yeah, they're just very hardy. You can have more heads per acre. And they're docile. I have small children, and I want cows where my kids and I come back here. We wild forage, we hike, we bird watch, we throw sticks in the pond because that's what kids like to do. And so I want to know that I can bring my kids out here and they're not going to get attacked. They're not going to get, I mean, always practice good safety. And my kids know good safety, right? They know, like, not to just like run up behind a cow. Like, they know those things. Not saying that you can't get a feisty cow from now and again, especially right after they calf. But they're not, I don't feel like it's a danger. I don't feel like I can have my kids here and they can run and I don't worry about them having an incident with a cow. Dexter's, they eat a lot of other stuff. They don't eat everything. They're not goats. But they still do really well on not great pasture. And so
what would not great pasture be? Just sparse? Would it be not the
just
ideal
not like,
grass?
Just not ideal grass.
How long do they live for?
Approximately 15 years would be a good average. There are people in some of the Dexter groups on social media that have cows that are pushing 20.
Wow.
And still calving. Like, I'm saying like 18, 19. Yeah.
Huh.
And so if you're good to them, they'll be good to you. I would say once they've gone a couple cycles without a calf, pregnancy test, and then if they're not pregnant, then that's when I would retire them to the freezer.
Or sell if somebody else wants to buy some meat, right?
Well, so the older cows, you're not going to have as tender of meat.
Okay.
So it's basically burger. You'd grind
yeah,
it.
I was going to say ground beef would probably be.
Yep, you're not going to get steaks and stuff.
How often do they calf?
So mine calf on average about every 13 months.
What colors do they come in?
Okay. Well,
oops, sorry,
there are 3 primary colors, and that is black, dun is the brown, and then red.
So what would be a cost difference between the Belfair, which is this girl right here, and a Dexter? Same age, both intended for milking.
You're going to pay a lot more for the Belfair.
And why is that?
Because it's got the jersey in it. Jerseys right now we're selling for like $4,000.
Because it's more in demand?
Well, everybody wants a Jersey cow.
Okay.
And so jerseys, and I speculate that because they're not as hardy of keepers, there's more money to maintain them. So you would have to charge more money for that.
What would you buy a cow for? And I feel like this question is loaded because it depends on the gender,
on what it is. For another
age,
Belfair,
the intended purpose, the breed.
I can't afford to buy a cow right now, so I'm not in the market. But if I have money saved and if I was in the market and I was looking for a Belfair for a Jersey Dexter cross, I would pay.
I feel like you're trying.
I have
to
no
not
money.
Commit.
I don't want to commit because I don't have the money.
Commit.
I don't have the money.
This is just for educational
purposes. For $2,500 to $3,000.
Wow. Okay.
I would be willing to pay
$2,500 to $3,000.
If I was, if I had the money to invest, and if it was trained, I had a good teat structure.
Okay.
You know.
So I guess the answer would be that a lot goes in to considering how much you would pay.
Right.
And also I would assume how the people who are selling it to you treated them, how they fed them, how they cared for the animal would go into the quality of stuff.
And
that
if
you're
it
buying.
was completely grass fed, like she's grass fed, and look at her beautiful body condition.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful body. I don't know if you can tell, but she is, I mean, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
And she just gets grass, and then we just give her a couple scoops of alfalfa while we're milking her. And so that would actually play. I would want something like that if I was paying $2,500 to $3,000.
For people who are interested in buying a cow,
Right.
it would be a lot to consider.
Right.
But what would be a fair entry level price for a Dexter?
For a Dexter heifer, like if you want to buy a 6-month-old Dexter heifer, I would say $800.
Okay. And you want to buy them young, already weaned, you said earlier.
Right. Well, you want to, if it's your first cow, you either want to get something that's proven that somebody else has trained and it's like turnkey, right?
Okay.
You're still going to have that transitional period where they're totally going to be cantankerous and test you.
Does proven also mean, to jump in really quick, does proven also mean that they have already calved?
Yes.
Okay.
That they're already in milk, already have calves.
So you know that they're going to be good to continue.
That they're trained, that they're already stanchion trained.
Go ahead. Yes,
they're already all trained to walk into the stanchion and be milked, super docile. Or you just get like a weaned calf like at 6-ish months old. And then you'd put it in a smaller pen and you'd work with it daily. And then you'd want to get a halter on it.
So that would not be $800 though?
For a 6-month-old, it would be $800.
Okay. For
just a weaned 6-month-old.
But proven
would for just a full Dexter.
Yeah.
A Dexter, if you're not talking about like milking, if you're just talking about just like a regular Dexter, probably $1,100 to $1,200, something like that.
But what if you are milking?
If you want one from milk lines, you're going to pay, and this is for unregistered, I don't know, $1,600.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is in 2025. So do you think those prices would...
They're going to vary greatly.
And is that because of inflation in general, or do you think that is because, just your opinion, do you think it's because maybe people are more interested in homesteading and so there's a lot more demand?
I think it's a mixture of both. There's a big movement going back to homesteading.
Are they polled or are they horned? And what is your preference?
Okay. So Dexters can come both polled, which means they genetically don't have horns, or they can come with horns. I prefer them without horns because I have small children. And I don't like dehorning. Again, I dehorn my goats because my kids show, but I don't like the dehorning. I don't think it's natural. I like the polled. If both parents are polled, which means never had horns, never grew horns, both parents are polled, you will only end up with polled calves. And so I only buy polled cattle, and most cow deaths are from the horns, from people being skewered.
Oh, for people.
Right.
I thought you meant like the cow.
Right.
Getting dehorned has caused infection and death.
No,
it's people being skewered. That's a possibility.
Yeah, well, the bull will come at you, and if his horns are like this, bam.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's just more risk of injury. Or when you're walking your cow, if they get a fly, so when they got flies on them, they all of a sudden just go, and they use their tongue and stuff to try to lick the fly off. And if you're walking your cow on a lead rope, and it's got a horn here, and all of a sudden flicks to get a fly, you could accidentally get a horn.
It sounds likely when you put it that way. Because I feel like if you're,
it can happen. And so usually it would just cause a bruise or whatever. But, if the cow's just going, like tossing its head back to
I feel like eyes and jugular,
Right. So,
I go for the worst case.
So do you want a polled cow when you get cows?
I want a polled cow.
Okay.
What is the origin of Dexter cows?
So they come from Ireland, and they were a mountain cow in Ireland originally.
That works for us because we are in the Ozarks. People have asked in your video about the garden what zone we're in. Yep. And I looked it up. I thought we were 6B, but it turns out it's 7A.
So we can teeter on both, I think. I think we're right on the edge.
Is there anything else that you want to share about Dexter cows?
I can't think of anything.
I think we hit everything, but if any of you have a question for Mel, please drop it in the comments below. You can do a Q&A to follow this video, so if you have any questions about Dexter cows.
Or Belfairs.
Yes, absolutely.
Belfair is, woo!
Yeah, definitely. She is the woman to ask, so feel free to ask it below. So now we are going to move on to the blind taste test. So we're both going to be given a glass of milk, 2 glasses of milk. One is going to have store-bought milk. The other one is going to have Dexter milk or Belfair?
Belfair.
Belfair. We'll see if we can tell the difference. Ready to do that?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Take it off. They're numbered 1 and numbered 2.
Okay. Should we look in the cup or should we not?
No, we shouldn't look inside the cup.
All right. Do you want to try number 1 first?
Sure.
I would say look in the cup.
We'll look in the cup afterwards.
Okay, so this is number 1.
We're smelling first. Smell first.
Okay. Is this like wine tasting where we put
it's like wine tasting. And then we got to we're not spitting it out.
Let it have air.
Yeah. We'll have to see if that's a good balance to it.
Oh, I already know. I can tell by smelling it. Oh, I totally know.
Okay.
It's number 2.
I know less now.
I think number 1's the store-bought.
Really? I thought number 1 was your
maybe.
cow's milk because it's so thick and creamy.
Maybe.
And the
You
smell,
might be right.
the smell is definitely of local pasture milk. You're not supposed to say the, with the word.
I was pretty confident there.
I knew but that's why I said after I tasted number 2,
Yeah, this one's waterier. Yeah, number 1. Number 1's wrong. Number 2's store-bought.
Don't say it wrong.
Oh.
Apparently, it gets
number
you
1 is
pasture milk.
farm fresh milk.
Farm fresh. Yeah, you can't say
Worklim.
Worklim. Yeah, that's
Worklim.
That's
milk.
what Zach from An American Homestead says. Worklim. I was thinking milk, and I was thinking replacing the A with an at sign, and then I with an exclamation point, and that would make it milk. Because I don't want to copy Zach. Zach's got his own thing.
I think he got it from somebody else, though. Zach, if you're listening, did you make Worklim up yourself, or did you get it from somebody else? We just want to know. I feel like he heard somebody else say it first, and then rolled with it.
Worklim. Well, maybe we can continue it. Make it a thing.
Worklim. Hashtag Worklim.
Okay, now I'm looking at color.
Oh, that's a good idea.
1 is, I feel like,
yellower.
Yeah. And number 2, I think I think my intuition with the first one was right. Just based off the smell alone, I can tell.
My sniffer is not working very good. But
yeah.
So you can say.
Yeah.
One is farm fresh. Are we right? Are you in your final answer?
That's my final answer. I'm pretty sure.
So 1 is farm fresh and 2 is store.
Okay.
Yep.
It is creamy. I like me a fatty milk, and this is really good.
This is Belfair milk.
It's good.
Now, we have you have a Dexter and Jersey, and you cross them. A 50-50 cross is a Belfair. But if they are, I think if they're 3/4 Dexter, 1/4 Jersey, they're called an Irish Jersey. And if they're 3/4 Jersey and 1/4 Dexter, they're called something else too.
Well, Irish Jersey makes sense because if it's more Dexter, you said Dexters originate
Irish.
from Ireland. Mm-hmm. Mountain cows. Got me some mountain cows.
Got some mountain cows.
Okay, and then, so does it matter?
I can't remember what it is if it's 3/4 Jersey.
Does it matter if the bull has to be a specific breed to mate the specific? Like a liger is. Have you heard a liger is a cross between like a male tiger and a female lion, but a Taillon is a male lion and a female tiger?
I don't think that matters. Well,
I don't know if that's right, but maybe it's vice versa.
Right.
But.
Well, there's something with when you cross a donkey with a horse, it's either a mule or a what's the other term? I can't remember now. A mule or
jacket.
No, that's just a boy donkey. They're called it's called 2 different things. If it's
a mule or a
something, a mule.
No, they're both sterile. I would imagine.
Yeah, they're both sterile. But anyway, so I will if my Belfair has a heifer calf, then I'll have an Irish Dexter calf.
Oh, fun! Because you prefer Dexter. If out of all of them, you prefer Belfair, but if you were to have,
but I still think 3/4 Dexter, 1/4 Jersey would still be a really good family milk cow, I think.
I'm enjoying these milks. These are good.
Do you want to hear something super crazy? So when you're breeding cows, you can buy sexed straws.
Wait, what?
You can buy sexed straws. Sexed straws. So if you don't want to have a bull, you can have an AI technician come out and artificially inseminate your cows, and they have straws, and it's called a straw because they look like straws, but it's semen, and you buy them sexed. And so there's a sorting mechanism to determine between male and female sperm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can
it's like an extra $20 or something.
Always get heifers if you're doing artificial insemination.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they call it straw? Because I'm
Because it
having
looks like a
images.
straw.
It looks. Do you remember
It
those
looks
little
like a straw.
straws like honey? They're just a
Yes,
little
a
smaller
little.
than that, but they look just
Oh,
like it. And then they load that in the
don't mistake it for honey.
Yeah. Well, it's like super cold. You put it in like this
Yeah.
like dry ice type container.
Really, and it
filled
survives.
with nitrogen.
Yeah, it's like a
It's-
nitrogen gas. It's not. It's something like dry
I guess
ice. It's
like
like a machine.
embryos will survive in
People do it.
cryogenic. Weird.
Yeah.
You can order.
So
them on
you
the
could be
internet.
like, if you got yourself, you know, a belfare and you wanted to guarantee that she always gave you a heifer calf, you could just have someone come out. These 4-H kids
Oh.
have semen catalogs that they look at to choose what semen they want to order for their animals.
Welcome to the homestead.